Hey, let's jump right into it, man. Paul Pierce, NBA champion, Celtics legend, has been on a wild streak online. And he's also made up a match and tossed it straight into the heart of every person who is married. This guy is going crazy online and dropping thought after thought, having interviews with other hosts that are quite interesting. And well, this is what he had to say about marriage, but also he dropped bombs on snow bunnies and women in general. We're going to talk all about this. Let's start with this one. Fair use. Oh, wrong one.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like every relationship shouldn't be based off sex, but every relationship is based off of that.
I don't think so.
100%. You can't tell me nothing different. This is what I feel, and that's why I'll never be in another relationship because it's always based off of that.
So you're not going to be in another relationship?
Hell no. For what? Because it's going to be based off the sex. Once that wear down, you're going to go find somebody else that's better. Yeah. But it ain't going to be based off of. This is the thing. And listen carefully. Listen carefully.
I'm listening.
Relationships. Let me tell you what marriage is all about. Or let me tell you what marriage is and who's marriage for. Marriage is for old people and poor people.
Okay, so let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're going to put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're going to have 5, 10 kids back in the 60s, all them, they're going to have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So you poor. So you married for that. And now when you get old, somebody that to be by your side to take care of you. Right.
Social media is having a meltdown over his latest takes. But is he talking the truth or is he just talking out of his, you know what? Let's talk about it. About the truth himself. RJ.
Yeah, so Paul Pierce is the truth. The truth.
Or is
According
he
to
capping?
him. No, he is the truth. He is the truth in the sense that that's his nickname, right? That's his basketball nickname. So just like you have the baby-faced assassin, which is Steph Curry.
Oh,
And so you have the king, which is LeBron James. You had, rest in peace, the Black Mamba, which is Kobe, of course. And you had the White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine. No one knows about the legend, Brian Scalabrine, the Boston legend. But
you forgot one.
What?
You forgot one. Billy
Which
the
one?
Kid.
Billy the Kid is your nickname for him, for Ja Morant. But you have the truth. So that's Paul Pierce, guys. By the way, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button and follow us on all the socials. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, guys. We really appreciate the support that you've been giving us and showing us through your likes, your comments, engaging with us. We truly appreciate that. So keep it up. And if you have suggestions as to how we can improve the show, or maybe you want us to discuss certain topics, let us know in the comments. But yeah, so he is the truth. And so his podcast is called The Truth After Dark. As soon as you hear After Dark, KR, come on. First of all, as soon as you hear After Dark, anything after dark, you already know what time it is. Nick After Nick After Dark, right?
Nick at night. They call it Nick at the dark.
That's at night.
That's right. Yo, what are you saying right there, boy? What? Yeah. Guys,
Okay,
go watch the Monday show. Monday show, we ended it on someone getting exposed on the Super Bowl. Anyway.
You're such a...
Go check that one out. RJ, continue.
Yeah, but
I need to promote the show. Come on, what do you mean?
But so that's anything after dark is already, But if it's anything related to Paul Pierce, we've seen Paul Pierce with strippers during the date. a daytime show. So if you put one and one together, man, it's you put Paul Pierce and After Dark, you know it's gonna get wild.
It's gonna
But
get
Paul Pierce
wild.
is
That's true.
very likable. He's a very likable character as well. So I have to give him that shout out to Paul Pierce. But yeah,
Shout out to
his
him.
statements are controversial. Did you want to discuss this, or you want to show first want to show more of what he
I
said?
want to show more. I want to show more about
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
of the first one, of course. Fair use.
And now my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So do you
I really believe that. Like that's what. Like outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage advantage? What advantage? What does it do for a man when things go south? Like we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, pay. But what do the? It's only advantageous to a woman. Like it's real talk.
but what if you meet a woman and you're like, wow, she's a gem, she's valuable,
We
she's
could be
everything, and I
together.
want to lock her down in marriage?
I don't want to lock no woman down. We could be cool.
So you're telling me
Yo,
He could have
KR,
had a bar
you'll
right
get-
there. He could have
hey,
had a bar right there. He could have had a bar right there. I don't lock anyone now because I'm not. Anyway,
Yo, KR. You think in 2025 you can talk about locking women down? Come on,
locking
man.
women
You
down,
have
my
to
man.
be crazy,
Oh
man.
my
You have
God.
to be.
You gotta get a
woman is-
lawsuit.
It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Why aren't you courting us? Because we don't want to end up in court. And anyway,
Oh man, you. Oh man. Oh, it's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
But let's finish this segment.
Let's finish it up. Let's finish it up.
me right now today,
Today,
you on January 4th, you do not want to be in a relationship ever again.
I don't think it's realistic long term until I turn 70.
I am done.
I'll say this: the truth is all cap right here. He has enough money to pay for let's call it someone who can take care of him. I wanted to use the Spanish word, but I'm not gonna go there. Let's continue.
I've never been more down with a motherfucker.
I'm 47 right now. Until I turn 70, that's the only realistic part I see is because we both old. We ain't out in the streets. We at home watching TV. You go take me to the hospital. I'm going to take you to the hospital. That's it. But right now, I'm too cracking right now. So what I need to
Is
do
it
all that
because you
for?
feel like you
What I need
have
to do all that for?
Why do we need to do all that for? RJ.
Yeah.
Mute. Yeah. Can't hear you now.
Oh, you want the feedback? Okay, I thought you had a question. Or I thought you had a question.
No. I'm just gonna your
first
thought on
Yeah.
your first reaction. The truth. I think he's capping. He's capping about the 70 part. This is the same man who showed up on was it the playoffs with KG with his girlfriend? He started promoting. He almost started promoting the website. Where he met her. I'm like, come on, dude. I'll never forget that part. KG's like, we're live. What are you doing? Never forget about that part. Now KG is also on that website, allegedly.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you hear about his case?
I didn't.
His girlfriend called the cops because there was some back and forth between them.
Okay.
Well, let's go back to Paul Pierce.
Yeah. So my point. So let me just start by saying this, as it relates to marriage, because we need to set some ground.
By the way,
rules
you're
here.
a lawyer, so you're gonna talk about this.
Yeah, we can talk about the legal aspect as well, but let me just give the general aspect first.
Mhm.
That's a good thing you also mentioned that. Let's establish first, what do we mean by marriage? Marriage has different it's a word, but it means something, it can mean something different, right? For everybody. So you have a couple of definitions of marriage. The first one is married. When you talk about marriage, usually people talk about married under the law. That's what they're talking about. Right? That's the first one, which means you let a government official, a civil servant, make the marry you, thereby creating a legal bond between the two people. That's married under the law. But you can also be married, considered married under the law without ever being married. So depending on and where you live, which state you live, in which country you live, what the rules and laws are of your country. There are states where if you live in under the same roof, for example, for a particular period of time, then you're considered married. Even if
Some
you're
countries
not married,
it's 2 years.
depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah.
Right. For example, for fiscal purposes, in I believe one of those socialist, not socialist, Netherlands, in the Netherlands. So in the Netherlands, if two people live under, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if two people live under the same roof, they're not considered married civil. So according to civil law, but fiscally they have to file joint report. If they have a kid as well. So there's like a criteria. So it's you're not married, but you're still considered married in certain situations. So that's the first. So the first part is the legal part. The second one is the spiritual part. Married under God,
Under
or
the
by God.
cross.
Why did you say no?
whoa.
Don't repeat that. I don't want to hear. But that's the second part. So some people will not get married under the law, but they will get married in church. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people say they want to get married for God, but actually they get married on the married under church is like automatic. Whereas in the past, whereas in the past, if you're married, you don't. I mean, you're married. You're just a ceremony, but you don't get married according to like under the law, right? So, but that's a separate kind of marriage. So that's why some people get married under the law and then they get married under the church. And then you have a third part where someone will call someone my wife or my husband because they consider themselves, let's say, with each other for until death do they part. So they're like, okay, we don't need the legal things. We don't want to be that. We don't need to go to church, but we promise to one another to do that, right? So what does marriage mean? That's the first thing. But that's what?
You forgot one. You forgot one.
Which one?
Work hobby and work wifey.
That's not marriage.
That's your wife cheating on you.
That's it. Yeah. Then you have a work husband or work wife, and then you have a work baby. Come on, man. So
yeah, continue. I was just kidding.
Yeah.
Continue.
So, but that's also something. But that's something else, right? So that's one. So, but that's KaiR. That's just like that's just the surface. We're still on the surface. If we go deeper, marriage in itself, everyone, it means something different for different people. So for some people, it's we're equal. Let's do this together. For other people, it's I got you on this. I got you in this aspect. You take care of me in that aspect. And as long as we can work with each other, then it's good. A lot of people, however, do not know what they want because they want to mix, they want to cherry pick different meaning of marriage in different time periods and, create something that never existed. They want to be married like their grandfather and their grandmother were. But maybe
they don't want to get locked up like their grandmother.
But they don't want to get locked up. They want something to say, but they want to have that protection, but they want to be able to go out without the man saying anything, right? In the past, a man would punch a woman if she's talking back. Come on, man. Come on. So Do you want, so people, it's like they're cherry picking. Come on, man. Another example is that in the past, it was usual that the man would have a whole family on the other side of town. And people would know, and it would still be, hey, it is what it is.
Accept it. It's
It is what
accepted.
it is. So, but we want that, but we won't don't want that, and we want this. So that's the
Cherry
first.
picking.
Yeah, we're cherry picking, and that's what I believe a lot of people are doing, and that's why
Or
it's
someone
difficult to.
would call it.
That's why it's difficult to find. Let me say, love or a person to marry, because even if you have a good person in front of you, you're so focused on what you think it should be instead of what is in front of you, that you're not valuing what's there. Okay, I say all
Crazy,
that to say,
crazy.
we don't know what Paul Pierce's definition of marriage is and what his image of a good marriage would be. But if he's someone who has money, who's been successful from a young age, he can pay people to cook for him. He can pay people to clean for him. He can pay people to advise him in business. He can pay people. Although I have to say, his circle of consultants aren't the best. 'Cause this dude is going to shows, is going live with strippers during the day with a corporate job. I mean, you have to be crazy to do that, which is understandable why he has his own podcast. But
Yeah.
so if we're talking about all that, we don't know what his image is, but what would someone like that want? And what would he have to offer to get in return? So he's saying, if I can live freely, if I can sleep with whoever I want to, money is not an issue. Why would I get
I
married?
think you have a good point, because if you have as much money as him, there is much more downside to upside, because like you said, he can pay someone to cook for him. He doesn't, well, some people use their wife to cook for them, and let's be honest, there's just a lot to clean their clothes, clean the house. He can pay for all that. What basically is left behind is the love aspect.
The love
Or
aspect, yeah.
some people marry also because their wife give it up to them,
Yeah.
actually have intercourse.
Yeah.
But if he can pay for that too, or have a girlfriend, well,
Yeah. So
the
so just
limitations
clear, when I'm
that
talking
is put
about,
on him.
so when I'm talking about cooking and cleaning, I'm not saying that's what a woman.
No, that's not
But I'm
what I
just
mean
saying,
also.
what
But
I want to say is, because he has everything he needs except
yeah,
for the affection side and the love side, right? So the love side and the lust side, let me put it like that, which
yeah,
is something
well,
that he can pay for, as you said. But then you can have yourself like a Shannon Sharp situation. But some people prefer
I
to
doubt
pay
whether Shannon Sharp
professionals.
was really paying, but
25 a cheek, 25K a cheek. That's what the
well,
lady said.
yeah, she was asking the money. She doesn't mean she got it, but
Yeah. So, but so that's one thing, and the other thing is indeed girlfriend or girlfriends. And if you're a man of that status, that's not going to be like an issue, right? And
yeah.
so it's great to say, okay, you know what? When we are old, we will when we're old, we will be what we say, when we're old, we can live together. But I think that's cap as well. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. But let's continue with also someone who said something about this relating to another billionaire woman, and people didn't really raise it as much as he did. Maybe she's less well known, but you have Asian Doll. Some who don't know her, let me share my screen. Asian Doll said the following relating to Rihanna. Because someone said on Twitter, 3 babies and no ring. Rihanna just like y'all. And she responded with, she's a billionaire. I wouldn't marry a poor ass ninja either. So y'all can take everything I have in divorce settlement. She's a queen. So it seems like she's saying the same, but on the other side.
Yeah, because it's not about man and woman. It's about it is about man and woman as well, to be honest, because usually if it's like 50-50, then the woman will get more, so has more privilege if there's a divorce. But if like Rihanna has that much money and all these businesses, she ain't trying to let ASAP Rocky uh, take 50% of her business. So it's
Yeah,
understandable as well. It's understandable, but it's more taboo to say it the other way around, right? So
seems like it. Yeah, that
but
seems
it's
like
the
it.
same, it's actually the same reasoning that you use. Why?
Yep.
Now the real
It's
question is, oh, so we have more videos.
I have more videos, yeah. But
Okay, go ahead.
final thoughts. The real
So,
question.
so the question is it for poor people or rich people? That's my question. I think it depends for everyone. But yeah.
Fair use.
If a woman,
Because I like my peace, first of all. I like
what if a woman
peace.
brings you that?
There's no such thing as that.
You don't think there's no such thing as a woman bringing
There's
man
no
peace?
such thing as somebody living with you on a day-to-day basis is bringing peace. It's always going to be something because you're going to have a bad day where I'm having a good day, and that's not going to be peaceful for me. I'm going to come home like, damn, baby, like I had a good, something going to happen to where you going to hijack my emotions. So that's not peaceful. You feel me? It's peace is peace. And peace is me by myself. I come home, I watch TV, I make my own food, I go to bed, I work out, I wake up at 5:30, I roll over in the bed, I lean this way, I fart, whatever I do, whatever. In my bed, that's peace. I'm cool. I can let loud snore, whatever. I ain't got nobody complain about nothing.
That's it.
Because I like my peace.
This wasn't his answer to does a woman bring you peace?
That's a good question, Kiara. Um, it's controversial, and again, what do we understand by peace?
Peace as in PEACE, not
Yeah,
PIECE.
yeah, that I understand.
Of
But
Putanga.
so I think it's I don't I think peace is a personal thing, but I think someone can be your wife, your husband, can also be your colleague, can also be your friends. They can contribute to your peace or take away or
That's
extract from your
true.
peace. So
That's
that's what
true.
I
Could be
think.
family
I,
as
I
well.
I do think that peace is, yeah, your family members. So I do think that peace is something that you have to work on for yourself. I don't think no one can give you peace. If you can bring you peace, if you want someone to bring you peace, then that means you're not taking ownership over, let's say, that aspect of your life, right? And if you don't have peace, then it's the other person's fault, which is not fair to the other person.
I think I
Um,
understand what he's trying to say, though. I do agree with you on that, by the way. Fully agree. What I think he's trying to say, and there is a level to that where you're dealing and managing two moods instead of one. That's the only thing right here. What I think is what he's trying to say. Because she has her mood, or well, let's call it, or the other way, the guy has his mood, and you come home, and then someone else has a different mood. You come happy, and then she's like, "Yeah, today wasn't that good," and then kind of
yeah, that is a possibility for sure. But at the same time, KR, the fact that if you can, again, marriage, relationship, business partner, roommates, if you can, if you live with someone that's dependable, if you work with someone that's dependable, of course you will clash heads, right? Because two different people, two different emotions, two different way of thinking. But if you can depend on each other, then it does bring you some sort of peace. But that's what I'm saying. So in Paul Pierce's case, you can pay for the peace, right? You can pay for uh, clothes, massages. Oh, massages. Shout out to Deshaun Watson. So with massages, he can pay for therapy if he needs it. He can pay for. So that's the thing, and I guess that's what he's saying when he's alluding to poor and rich, because he's saying I can
And pay for anything.
I
Everything.
pay for my peace. I have my peace already. But then you're talking about someone who will, and there are people who prefer to just live alone for the rest of their lives, do everything by themselves, because they want that, let me call it, peace. They don't want to have to worry about other people. They don't want to have to worry about other moods. But then it's a choice you make. And I don't think there's a right or wrong, but it's just a
That's true.
choice you make. I do think that if you have a good person in your corner, it does give you peace in another.
Another way.
It can give you in
True.
another aspect. So it's a different kind of peace that you have.
The
But
question then is he encountering people that by default are not bringing peace because he has money? That's also a question you can ask.
yes, but that's also logical, right? So if you're Paul Pierce, if you're the truth, and you have all this money, all this fame, wherever you go, people are throwing themselves at your feet, Hey,
Becomes harder to
usually the
verify
ones who
whether
are
someone
more, usually the ones um, who are more
eager,
sorry,
eager.
more eager, more flirtatious, more promiscuous, are usually not the ones you build a life with, right? Those are
That's
usually
true.
the ones who want a quick come up, or they want the lifestyle, or they're interested in your money. But if they give it up easily, then like Paul Pierce is saying, and like he's saying, okay, why would I work hard to get something that I can get easy? But then what you get easy is not usually as fulfilling. So then it's like a
Well,
chicken or egg.
sometimes
It's like a chicken or egg. You keep
what you
choosing the
get
same people who you can build on, you can build with, and then they keep reaffirming your belief that it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that.
one thing as well, you gotta keep in mind is what comes easy usually has a back pay to it.
Yeah, you either
So
pay
you
at
pay
the
either
front,
up front or
up
you pay
front,
at the
or you
back.
pay. Yeah,
Usually the back end payment always is higher than the front end payment.
yeah.
Usually is.
And the
Last
question
but
is,
not least.
yeah, go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, last one for today. One of the most controversial ones he dropped lately. Fair use.
Do you feel
'Cause-
like, why do you feel like men, especially NBA players, get with the white women? Is it because they're easy, quote unquote?
I got some theories, but I really want to hear it from him.
I do too. I wanna hear it too.
I honestly think that maybe is they appreciate maybe more and they apologize more.
Listen, I'm scared. Hold on.
No,
Hold on.
Yes, I mean, you know,
I had an interview with
they
not the apology.
don't mind being held accountable.
I'm so scared of this, y'all, because I had an interview with Columbus Short and I asked him this similar question and he said something and I got dragged for filth. I was on Breakfast Club, I was on Share. I had death threats for so long from Black women because they said I laughed when he said that. So let me not laugh. I don't have nothing to do with this.
I mean, that's
I'm
what
black.
I think.
I'm black.
Now I want to know what Columbus Short said. This is crazy.
He don't know though, because he dates Black women, period. So do not come for him, period.
By the way, before we continue, just know for everyone out here, just know that here at the Thought Show, before we get some death threats,
And so doing a lot of stuff in Skid Row. And this week
black
coming up,
means
we're
never,
celebrating
nobody's never. RJ.
Yeah, I don't know if that's also that's always a question, right? Why do these athletes, especially African American, the black athletes or famous people, they marry the white women? Paul Pierce is saying because black women don't apologize. Am I
He said apologize less.
accountability?
Accountability issue. Yeah, basically it boils down to accountability.
Yeah, I do think that. So so if we're going to talk about stereotypes, right? But usually, stereotypically, and Donnell Rawlings also made this joke. There is this reputation about black women that they don't apologize, that
Yeah.
they argue. They argue a lot. So everything is an argument. But you can also say the same. I mean, there are certain cultures where it's just like that, right? But I don't know if that's the case. I don't have that expertise, to be honest. So, um,
I think it's much easier to explain that usually. I think if you look at dating in general, you date with regards to your, let's call it, circle you're in at that moment. So if you are at certain places, so let's say I'll give you the craziest examples. If you hang out with billionaires and you go to billionaire parties, chances are there's a smaller group of black people there. Chances. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but the chances are there are a bigger group of other ethnicities, which makes you get in contact with other people much faster. It's just like the circle you're in, which means that a lot of times when, let's call it, a college player goes to college and it goes to a majority white college, which he hangs out at majority of the time, who will he encounter most? Black woman or white woman or Asian woman? It's just like where you are at that moment, which makes you get
yes,
more
that's
in.
one thing. That's one thing. But what I think, and I don't know if this isn't race related, what I'm about to say, but it's just like role related. So just like a team, like a
Role
basketball
in
team,
the
for example. So yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
what I'm about to
I
say
know
is
where you're
has nothing
going.
to do with black and white because I can't give an I don't know how that is. I
Yeah.
don't know what the reason is why you would say that. That's his opinion. I can't say anything about it. But I do think in roles. What do I mean by that? You can be a star player on your team, but if you get traded to another team, maybe on that team you're required to be a role player. Some role players go to certain teams who don't have a deep bench, and then they're required to be a star player. Maybe on the one team you're required to score 20 a night and rebound 15, and on the other team you have to do maybe 30 a night. And don't worry, don't you don't need to rebound as much because they already have people to rebound. But then you get older, they trade you, they just need you to play 10 strong minutes, get 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, you're good. Stop the big man. So what's your role? And I'm not saying so I this is not a black and white thing, but in general, I think when you're in a relationship with an athlete, because and Paul, I mean, to be an athlete, you're like less than 1% of people who play basketball become professional basketball players. Less than 1% of people who play football become professional players. So it's a very small percentage. of people, but those people, they are the captains of their ships. Anyone who wants to be with them would need to adapt. And for one player, that adaptation would mean I need you to travel with me all over because I want you to be here with me all the time. For another person, it might be I need you to take care of, like Kobe and Vanessa. Vanessa had to take care of the home. Kobe took care of of the money and everything else. But then there was an agreement that when he was off, when he got home, he spent time with the kids. So then,
Yeah.
but those are like before
Can
you
you
get
can you
in.
can you align with a certain way of working, basically your
Can you-
role? Can you adapt?
Yeah,
Do
but
you
not
know
only
how to
align and adapt,
adapt?
but can you support?
Yeah.
And if you
So
take, for
adapt
example,
to what
Trevor
your role
Hunter's,
is.
Trevor Hunter's,
Mhm.
or Travis Hunter.
Trevor
Okay.
Hunter.
Okay, so you take Hunter's girlfriend, for example. I don't know what ethnicity she is. I don't know. I don't think she's black. I don't
Ambiguous.
know. What? Ambiguous?
Ambiguous.
Okay. So, for example, in her case, I don't know if it's black or white, but she needs the spotlight.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then it's going to be
that's
a
one thing.
problem because it creates distraction.
What also adds to that, but I think you're on the right point right there. What adds to that, and this also not relating to race, but has that person seen how to adapt to a to a to a working franchise? Meaning, does she have a working franchise at home, or is this a one man army or one
Yeah.
woman army?
Yeah.
Which gives you more insight on how to deploy your skills within that, let's call it franchise, for lack
Yeah.
of a better word.
I mean, if you take, we covered Kiki Palmer in the past.
Yeah.
We just talked about ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. When you, as the man, are married or in a relationship with someone who's a big deal, you also have to play a role. What's the role that is required? Look at Oprah and Statham. Is it Statham? Statman. Look at their relationship. Now, Statman, I believe, he has a law firm or something, but he's not Oprah. But what does Oprah need? You know,
Are they even
it's
together?
What?
This man was. Well, okay, let's continue.
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about roles. So who needs what? And if you are going to date someone like Oprah, and it's different if you're like Oprah and Steve Harvey, for example, because then you're coming in with a big personality as well. But can you, as a man, support in that case the woman? Can you play the role? And that's, I believe, that's what it's about. And I think it's very important. It's very difficult to be a role player to someone who's a high achiever.
Yeah, guys, we want to know from you your opinion on this. Do you think Paul Pierce is right about marriage? Is it just for old people or poor people? Do you found your love of your life and are feeling differently? Let us know in the comments. Have you ever felt marriage wasn't worth it? Or are you still holding on hope to find your ride or die? And would you risk it all for love? Drop your thoughts down below. We'll be picking one of the best comments to feature in one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes, guys. Also remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our other socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos.
Yes. Second topic of the day is a topic we covered about 3 years ago, man. A bit more than 3 years ago. Tyre Nichols, crazy story. 3 former Memphis police officers just walk out free after being charged with deletion in a brutal beating of Tyre Nichols. An entire country is asking now, how did this happen? A jury just found them not guilty of all 3 charges, even though we all watched this horrific body cam footage. I don't know what was going through their mind when they were doing that. But guys, let's take a look at what happened. Fair use.
The jury of your peers have found you not guilty on all charges with these matters. The court will enter the judgment sheets accordingly, and this will conclude your matter that's before the court.
Now it's a developing
Fair
news
use.
we're following tonight. 3 former Memphis officers have been acquitted in the deadly beating of Tyre Nichols. In 2023, 19-year-old Tyre Nichols ran away from officers during a traffic stop. When officers caught up to him, he was pulled from his vehicle, pepper sprayed, tased, and later caught by 5 officers who then beat him severely. He died 3 days later. State charges are still pending against 2 other officers. The 3 officers who were acquitted today, Darius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justice Smith, may still spend time in prison. They were convicted on some federal charges last year.
Crazy story. Crazy story. This isn't just another court case, man. We covered this a while back and we broke it down. I remember it's one of the craziest stories we had early beginnings of the Double Thought show. Some people even subscribed because of that video. Let's break this down. What really happened, what was said in court, and also maybe about policing in general, and maybe accountability. RJ.
That's also, before we talk about that, we also have to remind our viewers to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos.
Want to say something other than that?
Seeing as how I've been so passionate in the previous segment,
Okay.
we can
Then
just
I'll
move
take
on,
the
and
lead.
I'm sure that I can
Okay, no
fill
problem.
in the minutes.
No,
That's
you'll
what we
fill
do.
in the minutes. Okay, no problem. So, wrong one. I'm sharing. So we covered this a while ago, man. 2 videos. We had 2 long formats, 130 and 133, on the show number 21 and 26, and now we are at 262. Sorry, why do you say? I said 21 and 22nd. And we're now at 262. So it's a very long time ago. We have a bunch of videos as well covering this, breaking it down in smaller parts, because we covered quite a lot of angles. We broke down the body footage first, the wild scenes, the police ignoring it all, how it went downhill, how Black Lives Matter covered this, whether this is whether proper police training would have solved this problem or saved his life, BLM exploiting it. So we covered this quite extensively back then. And one of the things that was clear was these guys were just, hammering on a guy that was clearly, he was caught.
Yeah.
They arrested him. They started pepper spraying him. He decided to run for it, which back then I think we didn't agree with what he did. But hey, sometimes some people run and fight. There are different responses to threat. He decided to run. They ran after him, caught up to him, and that started hammering. It looked crazy. But don't take it for my word. Go watch the video yourself, or what I will show you is the testimony of one of the guys who got arrested.
They have, especially since now that he is testifying against the other 3 officers. And one thing that we continue to hear Martin say in his testimony, we lied and exaggerated to justify what we did.
Emmett Martin, a former member of the Memphis Police Department's Scorpion Unit, describing the deadly encounter that led to the unit's demise and Tyre Nichols' death. Martin testifying for the prosecution in the federal trial of Darius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith, laying out how he was the first to see Nichols speed up to make it through a red light and gave chase. Martin admitting he didn't know how fast Nichols was going, but that a chase for a traffic violation was against MPD policy. It would be the first of several policy violations, Martin testified, he and other officers committed that night, describing how he, Demetrius Haley, and Officer Preston Hemphill surrounded Nichols' car, yelling, "Get the expletive out of the car and get on the ground. I'm going to tase your expletive." Martin said Nichols was never resisting and there was no reason to tase him, which Hemphill did. Martin says by the time they caught up with Nichols, who managed to run away, Tadarius Bean and Justin Smith had him on the ground, hitting him with a closed fist. He said Desmond Mills took out his baton and started hitting Nichols 3 times on the arm. And that was against policy since Nichols was not a threat. Martin admitted he should have stepped in, but instead he said, "I punched him in the face 5 times with a closed fist." When asked why he did it, Martin said, "I was mad. I was already on edge prior to even getting there. We tried to get him in custody and it wasn't working. He ran and that's what happened." Martin said Helly delivered a vicious kick between Nichols' torso and head. Martin said he also added to the kicks, saying Nichols' body jerked. He admitted kicking is not a trained police technique. One thing Martin maintained, out of all the officers on the scene, no one told the other to stop or pull back. By the time their Lieutenant Dwayne Smith showed up, he says no one mentioned the punches and kicks they had delivered to Nichols, saying if they did, they would have been charged. Instead, they told him Nichols was high, something they didn't have evidence of, and that he was driving into oncoming traffic and got out of his car swinging. Martin saying they had to justify his actions to justify theirs. Martin also testified to a code that was a general understanding. I'm not going to tell on them, and I know they're not going to tell on me. Not going to put them in a situation where they get in trouble. It was an understanding. Basically, we did what we needed to do. I wasn't going to tell on them, and they weren't going to tell on me.
And they were still found not guilty.
Yeah, second degree. So what did they were? Let me go down a little bit. So the charges for these 3 guys were second degree deletion, aggravated assault, kidnapping, and official misconduct.
Hey,
Not
man,
guilty on all charges.
KaiR, I remember when we were showing this video a long time ago right now. So if you're talking about the 20s, episode 20s, 21 and 26, I think you said.
Yeah, this happened in January 2023. So
it's like a long time ago. And I remember when we looked at the videos, it was clear that they were using excessive force.
yeah.
The dude couldn't fight back.
It's 5 versus 1, 6 versus 1. It was.
Didn't they
They were
stand
holding
him
him
up?
up. They were
Didn't
standing him up
They stood him up at one point
like
and
a
just
body
started.
bag.
Yeah. And so, you know what you don't want in a country, KaiR? You want in a country in any country, in order to have stability, you can't be having vigilantes, because vigilantes are created when people perceive the system as not being equipped to properly handle injustice, and unlawful things.
Yeah.
So it was clear abuse of power. That's not standing your ground. That's not reasonable force. They were punching him and kicking him, tased
Hit
him,
him with a
hit him
baton.
with a baton, stood him
This is
up,
wild.
punch him. That in no way, shape, or form can constitute legal, or at least reasonable measures. Now, the thing about the law is that you can do something wrong, but it needs to be qualified. So it's all about qualification, right? So the way they probably handle this case, like almost certainly, is that they went through the facts and circumstances of that day, what happened, who did what were the who hit who tased who, etc., etc. And then based on that, they have to determine whether those actions constitute first degree, second degree, is it manslaughter, is it, it's, and it could be that it cannot be qualified as third degree, but it can be qualified as first degree, for example.
Yeah.
In this case, however, KaiR,
Ain't no way.
ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Not even aggravated assault.
No, that's no.
Not even aggravated assault. This.
But what do you think is the consequence? What are the consequences for this decision? In the future, police officers will use this as case law.
Yeah.
And say, hey, in that instance, you found this. So in this instance, you should reach the same conclusion.
Yeah.
You only just contacted him with a sharp
Close
tool
fist.
3 times.
Just close fist. These guys hit the guy with a closed fist. They admitted hitting him, the guy with a closed fist.
We saw it
So
on the videos. We saw it on the
crazy.
camera of one of the neighbors.
Yeah.
That caught the incident.
Well, actually, it was a police cam in the neighborhood.
Was it a police cam?
It was a police cam, yeah. So they have those mobile
Yeah,
police
yeah.
cams, right? They move around. So that's how they caught it. But yeah, this is quite crazy. So one thing, so this is what you see here is, I think we said it last time as well, right? Because after this happened, BLM's response was, we need to defund the police. They didn't actually highlight the fact that these police they didn't actually try to pin out the fact, because I think if it would have, let me go straight to what I want to say. If these guys were white, BLM would have approached this differently.
Yeah.
Which points out the fact that usually BLM only finds Black Lives Matter when there's white lives involved, which is not a good thing. But
well, let me
wanna say
push
something?
back. I can push back. The thing is, KaiR, that they were saying that these were black police officers, because that's what people said, right? People remarked during that time saying, hey, but these are black officers, so it's not only white. Why isn't BLM protesting now? But BLM, I don't know if you recall, but they published a statement in which they said that it doesn't matter which color the police officer is. They're all officers are part of the white
that's
infrastructure. That's what they said.
Even if
but
in
they
a
weren't
black
marching,
city,
though. They weren't marching.
They were marching, and they were marching with the guy who got the knee on the neck.
Yeah.
So yeah, potato. Great thing. But yeah, you said the same thing. I do agree with you. They didn't march, but it's only worth it to march when there is, which is kind of sad, because I do believe that, and people need to march. Actually, you got to ask yourself whether they need to start holding everyone accountable in these situations. Because
KaiR.
RJ, otherwise you get the problem. You know what it's gonna be? Because now
Yeah.
you have the father who basically ran over the cop, was walking with his chin high in court. People are praising him because he ran over an innocent cop. He didn't even run over the cop who
And
did
that's
it.
what I mean by vigilante, right? That's what you want to prevent, but
A
people are fed up.
random cop.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's what vigilante is. Now, I have a question, Kyo. You said something. You said something about before you mentioned this cop. What did you say? Do you remember what you said?
No, I never do. It comes out,
You
out of
talked
my
about
heart.
the. You talked
I
about
talked about
the. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. Remember, guys, we said it a while ago, and it apparently it is true, but still people don't want to believe it. People don't want to believe it.
he wanted.
But BLM was using black men as freebies for their campaign to fund
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
for their
To fund all
campaign
kind of different
to fund
organizations
all
that had nothing to do with.
they were LGBT before they were rainbow organizations first and
Yeah,
black second, but they weren't supporting black men because if you looked at maybe they changed it, but their whole statement, their whole target audience, it's not
yeah,
black men. They even put them MXN. They don't even write it out loud.
yeah. They don't even women next. I think there's something like that. That's how they write it.
So men are the freebies, just like you have like a free webinar. That's what a man getting murked is. And once that's over with, the campaign starts for the paid upsell, which is usually donate something for a cause that you will never profit from.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think
Maybe they
it's
just thought this freebie wasn't good enough.
it wasn't good enough. They couldn't get people emotional enough about this whole situation. But it's a sad thing, man. This guy. Well, one thing I'll say this, and even though they're not convicted on the state level, they still have the federal level where they got convicted for, or they're still. I think maybe they're still in litigation, but on that level, these guys, one of them got life, and the other is facing 20. I think. Let me take a look real quick. Bean and Smith, yeah, could serve up to 20 each. And two of other officers, Martin and Mill, took a plea to avoid this. Oh no, wait a second. Let me go back. This is not the other one. Oh yeah, all three of these officers have already been convicted federally. Haley is facing life in prison for deprivation of rights under color of law, and the other one is facing up to 20 years. So yeah, that's true. So they won't avoid sentencing, but I think it's very sad, and like you said, this is going to be used in the future by other cops as an example of, you see, this is what that state issued, and of course there are always nuances that apply, but I mean, this is a sad thing, man. Ain't no
It
way
is.
the way they did this guy, and it's a sad. I think still this didn't need to happen. This didn't need to happen. It's what you get when also they defunct that unit. But sometimes when you create these units, these anti-crime units, they get a little bit more leeway, and they usually they don't self-govern correctly. What you see is that when these units get a little bit more leeway, they start to create their own laws, the way they do stuff, and in order to get that conviction, they might take that extra step, beat up someone to get the answer they want, or in this case, run behind someone and just hammer away, even though there was no need to. Um, so yes, that's always the danger when you create these special units and they don't have strong leadership within them. Not saying you shouldn't create these units, but you have to have strong leadership that keep everyone accountable. But as soon as you start looking away one time, it's over. And that's probably a thing. If this is the end result of one of the cases, this is not the first time people looked away. This is like a this is a it's a consequence of continuously looking away.
Yeah.
But yeah, sad, man. Fuck, this is crazy. This is crazy, and yeah, maybe it's symbolic for some people, and people are happy. I mean, I understand why the people who were in court, they're happy that they didn't get convicted. But man, ain't no way. Everyone there should get at minimum 10 years. At minimum, everyone there, because if you didn't stop. How did Bush said it in 2001, RJ? He said, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. He didn't say it that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Was it?
If you don't stop people there, you're part of the group.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm very
Anything else you wanna
disappointed.
say?
Very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in this decision. But I hope that on the federal level, then, so that's still ongoing.
Yeah, it seems like it's still ongoing.
At least that
They
some
got
justice
convicted.
will be served.
Yeah. So yeah, they're facing time, and people are saying this is not right. Let's see whether people will march. I mean, I hope they kind of fight this, and go back to yeah, fight it. Let's see if they'll hand in the papers to fight it, this result. But I think this is very disappointed. Disappointed. I'm very disappointed in this. Guys, let us know what you think. Do you think justice was served in this case? Do you think that it was justifiable for these cops to do what they did? Do you think that it wasn't second degree deletion, aggravated assault, kidnapping, official misconduct? Do you think they should have gotten at least one of the four charges? At least one of the four. They didn't get none.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think. We'll be choosing and focusing on one of the best comments in one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates when we drop new videos here on the Double Touch Show. We discuss trending topics and try to extract uncommon lessons from commonplace situations. Thank you for the support you've been showing us throughout these last couple of years, especially the last couple of months. We do appreciate it. Do keep engaging with us. And if you have any suggestions as it relates to improvements that we can make, or if you want us to discuss or cover certain topics, please share it with us in the comment section. KaiR.
Yes, sir. Last topic of the day, Smokey Robinson. He's getting cooked at 85 years old. Smokey, the man behind Motown's biggest love songs, but also one of the biggest love songs in the early 2000s, Cruising by D'Angelo. He was the original singer of that song, is now center of a massive SA lawsuit. 4 former employees have come forward about disturbing claims, SA, false imprisonment, and labor abuse. The accusations span back to nearly 2 decades, and now the music world is in shock. They're trying to get this old man out of here. Fair use. Oh, jeez.
Come on, man.
Attorney John Harris revealing the accusations against Motown legend Smokey Robinson.
I will not describe the details of the sexual assaults and rapes because they're too graphic and disturbing for this news conference.
All 4 of Robinson's alleged victims have chosen to remain unnamed and are referred to as Jane Doe in the complaint.
Our 4 clients have a common thread. They're Hispanic women who were employed as housekeepers by the Robinsons, earning below minimum wage.
The accusations against the music legend include sexual assault, sexual battery, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment.
We're seeking damages of $50 million.
The complaint also claiming one of the Jane Does was first sexually assaulted in 2007 and that these acts continued until she resigned in 2024. According to the complaint, Robinson's former housekeeper claims in the lawsuit that she was sexually assaulted not even 2 months after she started cleaning the couple's Los Angeles mansion. Another Jane Doe claims Robinson started sexually assaulting her in 2016, claiming when she was home alone with the singer at his Los Angeles mansion, he would text her and ask her to meet at places in the house that didn't have cameras. The woman alleges he would then sexually assault her.
We do have evidence of some of the misconduct.
The complaint says the former employees didn't speak out or go to police because they were afraid of losing their livelihood, familial reprisal, and the possible adverse effect on their immigration status.
And having to tell their husband and children of these despicable acts against them left them overwhelmed with shame and embarrassment.
Robinson's wife, Frances, also named in the lawsuit, accused of creating a hostile work environment and being aware of what was alleged and not doing anything to stop it.
These 4 courageous women want and demand justice for themselves, and the filing of this lawsuit is the first step.
The complaint also accuses the Robinsons of not paying proper wages. And we reached out to Robinson's record label about these allegations. We're still waiting to hear back.
Let's break this down.
KaiR. Well, first and foremost, Smokey Robinson's a legend. Let's start there. He's 85 years old. This is a hell of a way to spend the last part of your life. Now, and of course, guys, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon. If it is true what they're saying, like we always say, then may justice be served. But whether it's true or not, we are seeing a tendency. People are just filing cases and claiming things, then going to the public and causing damage to a person without the person even going to court. I don't know if Smokey Robinson has like ongoing projects that they can pull from him, like they did and are doing with Shannon Sharp, like they did with Michael Irving.
Irving back then.
But if it is false, then if it is false, if it's true, he needs to get what, I mean, may justice be served. But may justice be served on both sides. So if it's false what they're saying, then may justice be served there as well. Because it's not normal that people can get accused, can lose their jobs, can lose endorsement, can lose everything for things before it's even proven to be right or wrong.
Yeah, like you said, this is a tendency, but one thing we have mentioned this in previous shows as well, and also early in this show, where if you pay at the back end, it always is. The cost is way higher. I mean, I wouldn't say, again, don't know what happened, don't know the case, but we have seen situations like this happen in the past where, let's say, the cleaning lady is indulging into intercourse with the boss. One of the examples is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He even got a kid who looks actually more like him than the kids he had in the marriage. The genes, anyway. So it's not too far-fetched, but the problem is, this is why you gotta the whole cheap trying to get, trying not to pay and all that stuff, that always fires back at a certain point, thinking you can pay. I'm not saying that this happened, but if it happened, the thought of paying women minimum wage and also having intercourse with them is a total, it's gonna backfire. In this time, maybe 20 years ago it wouldn't, but in this time we're living in, it's gonna backfire. And people will try to claw back what is theirs. But it's sad. Like you said, you're 85 years old, a legend, and this is how you go out. Before the time he this is resolved, this man will be under the ground. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It won't be resolved.
Well, they can still claim it's
The estate, yeah. The estate will probably settle. The estate will probably, estate usually settle. Never seen an estate fight it till the end. But yeah,
because the estate is really about the money. And the estate is like, we didn't work for it.
Care.
We didn't work for it, so we just want as much money as possible.
Yeah, minimize the damage as much as you can, and try to continue his name, have his name be as clean as possible. But this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think it's a sad thing for him and like you said in the beginning, if he did it, is what it is. It is what it is. You gotta pay, man. You gotta pay, because this isn't even a legal case. It's a legal case, but it's not a criminal case. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a civil case. So, which is something as well. I think people need to start filing more criminal cases, because this is, you're not actually getting justice by doing this. You're just trying to get something back, whether that something is real justice or not. Well, anyway. Well, yeah, people want to, RJ, people want to get it for free, for cheap, avoid paying, and you end up at 85 years old in court.
Yeah.
Looking crazy. Because right now he's looking crazy out here. This man is talking about a serial artist.
Yeah.
A sick man. He must be stopped. He's 85 years old. He can barely.
He stopped already. He stopped already.
This man can. No disrespect to Smokey, but he probably can barely. He barely knows who's standing next to him. He's like. Let's be honest, Arya. He's 85. He's probably on the level of Joe Biden right now.
No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. Just like.
Okay.
No. I was going to refer to the previous story, but
okay.
Like the cop said, they were exaggerating to get away with it.
Yeah, the cop.
No.
It is what it is.
Motombo over here. I'm Motombo, baby. I'm Motombo. Now, but let's take a look at something. I found this clip online, and whether it's true or not, let's just listen to what this guy has to say about these lawsuits, and let's talk about it. Fair use.
Tony Busby might quite possibly be the smart.
This is about Tony Busby, but this is about the context and the thought behind what he's trying to say. Because maybe this is it right? Is he right? Is he not right? Let us know.
This white man to ever live. This white man has created a foolproof way to make millions of dollars. He can take any black male celebrity at random and threaten them with a lawsuit and say that I have some former lover who's accusing you of some sexual impropriety. And if you don't pay me, I'm going to unleash my secret weapon. He knows that most of these men will settle because they're afraid that he'll unleash his secret weapon. And what's his secret weapon that all of these black male celebrities are afraid of? The black media. See, Busby knows that the black community is so disloyal, so fractured, so full of self-hatred, that any small kernel of truth to the most ridiculous sexual accusation, the black media will take it and run with it. Just nonstop tweets and vlogs and posts and comments about how it could be true, how they always knew it was true, or how he seems like the kind of person who would do something like that. See, Busby knows that black people are so full of self-hatred that we're the only community that you can run this scam on nonstop. And we'll never wise up and realize that it's a scam. We'll keep falling for the bait every time. Because why settle for the truth when the lie is more entertaining? And Negroes love to be entertained. And we love to bring down our own. See, he's using our self-hatred against us. And we're so thirsty for attention, thirsty for clickbaits, thirsty to look morally superior, we'll nonstop post and do exactly what he knows we're going to do.
RJ.
Hey, that's misusing the system. I would say, I would argue. And that's something I always talk about with my team. I tell them the law that you learned in school, we've all learned in school, it's not the way it goes in practice. Because in practice, it's a tool just like any other tool. And everything is about leverage in practice. It's about leverage. And that's why certain attorneys will say, okay, if I do this, let's do this. Let's say the nice way, correct way, then I wouldn't take the case. And I would have less cases and I would earn less money. But if I do this, then I can put a knife to someone's neck and try to get more. Oh, let me do that. And that's what happens. It's a misuse. But the court has the obligation to handle all cases that come in. And if they want to dismiss it, then they dismiss it. But there's a procedure for that. I do think that if there is like a complaint and it's like clear that someone is misusing the power, that there must be procedures to take away someone's license.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of an issue, I think, in general. I do agree with you on that. Where people misuse a tool which can be used for good, but also, of course, every tool can be used for bad as well. For self-defense, a tool can be used as self-defense or to attack other people. But yeah, let's see how this pans out for Smokey, man. Anyway, whatever happened, it's a sad story on both sides. If this is the way he's going out and he did it, hey, it is what it is. Either way, it's a crazy way to go out at your 85. And if this happened to the women, really happened to the women, I mean, also very sad. And I hope they get their due in that case. Let's see how this turns out. I think we'll never get the real truth behind this. With a lot of these cases, if it gets settled, you'll never hear from it again. So let's see how it turns out. They want that. Maybe they want the. This. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Do you believe Smokey did what he did? Do you believe this is something that, let's call it, people with cleaners do quite often, where they are banging them next to also having them clean around? We've seen that with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he actually got a kid. I mean, that kid looks more like him. I'll never forget when I saw that. Was like, Jeez.
That's his baby. Yeah, that's his
That's
baby.
his. That's definitely him. Then I saw the mother. I was like, jeez, Arnold, what the heck is wrong with you? But hey, it is what it is. Guys, do you believe it? Is it a calculated attack of vulnerable celebrities? Is he going to settle? Drop your thoughts down below. We'll be picking some of the best comments to feature one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes, guys, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our other socials. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos.
Next segment is comment of the week. And the comment of the week is this week a comment from two people who, well, responded to a clip on our clips channel about the probe. We talked about it last week. It's on the clip channel, guys. A lot of likes. And the people said, Mark Pierre Lanton said the thumbnail is the face of greed and entitlement. And 86P JPW said, seems she knew what she was doing. Yes. That's the thing with Tiffany, man. It's a sad thing. She knew what she was doing, but also with her, I have sometimes the feeling that she was just doing anything she could do. It wasn't even any thought behind what she was doing. Just try to get as much money as possible at a short time and hope for the best. And now she's probably gonna get locked up, or at least you also have someone else, by the way. And this is a interesting thought. It's also in the same one. This is the person got a gift. I'm gonna open that one up. He said, or he or she said the following: I have no doubt that the federal indictment is in the works. I fully accept expect 4 counts of submitting falsified documents as soon as her 2024 federal tax return is filed and received. She will be arrested. This is going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars in income that she failed to report. You must consider all of the goods and services she has received during the tenure as mayor of Dalton. Trips to Las Vegas, a team of security guards, posters and banners with her image upon them, donations of the Tiffany Cares Foundation. There are many items that went well beyond what is officially authorized by the Dalton Township that she received. I'm only scratching the surface of the goods and services she received. At the end of the day, all of it will be determined to be unreported income. So yes, her goose is cooked. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not $1 million, are all unreported. That, my friend, is a double thought.
I like the ending. I like
that's
the
a
ending.
nice ending.
Ed got a gift. Thank you for your support. I don't know if you are a liar, but in this case, you ain't tell no lie. So we want to thank you for your support and the extensive breakdown.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Well, let's see. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. And of course, we'll be picking the best comment to feature one of our future videos. Let's go to Around the Internet. Today we have two Around the Internets. Let's start with the most crazy one. A different type of spray and pray in Pennsylvania. Gotta ask yourself, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
KaiR? Well, let's take a look. Fair use. By the way, this is a road rage situation. Just to get, are you seeing what she did, RJ?
She spray painted the car, right?
A nice spray paint, yes. From her own coloring.
No, are you serious?
You see it. You see it. Look at this.
Oh man.
You can see her, right? She sprayed there and they arrested her. So the Pennsylvania woman was arrested for
Can you tell us what
launches.
happened?
The lady chased me. She chased me and I asked her not to attack me. She chased you? I haven't.
Yo, did you hear what someone said?
What?
Let me play it back. Listen to the background.
Chased me. She chased me and I asked her not to attack me. She chased you? I haven't.
You didn't hear it?
No, one more time.
Chased me and I asked her not to attack me. She chased you? I have a sickness.
They asked her, what did you eat that day?
You said she chased you? Yeah, she chased me. And I got out and begged her to stop.
And I got her to beg her. I got out and begged her to stop. That's a hell of a way to say stop. Spray paint someone's hood like that, man. Come on, lady. So this is what they say. Pennsylvania woman who was arrested for launching explosive diarrhea out on the rear end of another driver's car during a road rage incident. The family of a 44-year-old Christina Solomato says there is more to the story than you see below. Solomato was taken into custody for a road rage incident ended with feces on a car, according to police. I know it's being joked about a lot. There are all kinds of puns and innuendos online, but bottom line, we are treating it seriously, said Prospect Park Police Chief David Madonna. It can't happen in this community. No town wants this to happen in their town. The recognition a town gets over this kind of thing is really unwelcome. Oh my God. They are trying to get a lawyer for her.
People are crazy, man.
Bruh.
Some people are cuckoo.
Bro, how can you open? Yo, this is wild. This is very wild.
She can be stable. She can be. No.
She should get locked up only on that alone, bro. Give her a week or two, because you can't be this filthy. How can you clean that? You gotta drive right away to automatic car wash. You can't even clean that off. By the way, just hope that it doesn't get into the vents.
Yeah.
You might have to spray paint your own engine to get it off.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Anything else you
Straight
want
to
to
the
say?
car. Straight to the car wash. I'm not gonna touch it, man. I'm not gonna touch that hood, man.
Oh man, people are crazy. You're right on that, man. People are crazy. Let me see if I can. Yeah, this is wild. This is wild. This is wild. Second one for today, and the final one. Joy Taylor is wilding out while Exec Crash is out. Fair use. Oh, look who's back again, RJ.
Paul Pierce, the truth.
The truth after dark, I guess we're here again.
You dating, not dating, whatever, but like Future. What's the age limit?
Age limit?
As far as youth to older. What's the youngest to the oldest? Like, what's your range?
Damn, I'm telling myself right now. I would say right now at my
Did
age.
she say I'm gonna tell on myself right now?
That's what she said. Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue.
Right now. Yeah, I would not date younger than 25, 26.
That's a
Why
good one.
you laughing?
Why is that funny?
No, because I thought she was going to be.
I thought you would say.
I thought she was going to be on some like 35 to 57.
Me too.
Oh no! I mean, I don't think I could. I don't know. I'm not gonna get up here and lie. Okay, young men are very aggressive and they do not care how old I am. And
Wait, but Joy, I have to ask you because this is a whole thing with women.
25
they're saying
is a
that these
grown
young
man.
men are really.
25 is grown. I agree.
They're saying
You ain't about to have me out here on some bullshit. 25 is a grown ass
They're
man.
saying 25-year-old men are where it's at. All the older women, that's what I'm trying to say. The women that I've been talking to, like in their 30s, late 30s, they're like, yo, like these younger men, they come, they're intentional, they come with it. They're like not playing around. They want to date you. They like treat you like you're a goddess. They appreciate you. They talk life into you. Like I am hearing that these younger men from all these women, they are where it's at. I've never dated a younger man before. No, I've never wanted to.
They're telling
but
the
like
truth.
at this point,
Paul Pierce's face is like, hey, you're lying. Look at this. Look at it. Look at the smile he has while she's talking.
dated a younger man before. No, I've never wanted to.
They're telling
but
the
like
truth.
at this point, they're talking about
Is this the truth after dark? They're telling the truth.
This is what I'm hearing. And even
but
the
I don't
ones-
like it's 20. I don't want to be clear here because I don't like 25 is a grown man.
It's a grown man. Joy.
Okay.
You're not. Don't
You're not
worry
about to have
that.
me on some bullshit.
What about it? What else is non-negotiable for you?
I'm less and less interested in religious men, if I'm being honest with you. I told Paul this. Religious family, you bring a flag. I also don't give a fuck. So to the table, it's a red flag for me.
I'm mad.
I just for a good Christian man.
Dark places. Okay.
Believing in God, having spirituality.
If I'm not mistaken, she said something between 25 and 70.
70, yeah.
Yeah. We know what that means.
The stories are true. Is that what you're saying? Or
No,
that's
the
more
stories are
likely
true.
to be true. The stories about the affair she had with one of the.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah.
Charlie Dixon. And Charlie Dixon is no more at Fox Sports. And she's still there. Charlie
Yeah,
is
but-
outed.
But we know that this would happen.
We know.
We know that this is-
We were talking about this in the past. Charlie is out here.
Slaying his Dixon. And
and crashing out. And crashing out over a side chick. Crashed out.
Yeah.
The second crash out, guys, on I think on Monday. Yeah, it was on Monday where we talked about
Monday.
Cole CEO crashing
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Got to be very careful when you are at a leading position at a company and a corporate, man. You can be out here slaying your own underlings. You can be out here, man. You can be out here. But yeah, Charlie Dixon is out. He crashes out. Who knows whether you get a position like this? But yeah, this is not a good look for him. And of course, who knows that he's getting divorced after this? Because what we also know is that people, when the money is gone, the love is not so strong. She might pull the parachute right now. This man is crashing out. I need to leave this plane right now.
Yeah.
I don't blame the wife for this. Should have keep it in your
Hey man,
pants.
action, reaction. Action, reaction.
Action,
Everything is
reaction.
action, reaction.
It is what it is, man. RJ, you know how old I am?
How old?
69. Joy, hit me up.
With the body of a 25-year-old.
Yeah. Hey guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Do you stand a chance? Are you within the range of Joy? Do you think you stand a chance? Do you have the money? Do I have the money?
Money.
Do you have it? Can you afford her? Because that's important. When you're dealing with certain women, you will get priced out. Can you give her a gift? Do you have enough money to give her a Birkin? Or help her in her career? With your connections, of course. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. And we'll be highlighting the best comments in a future video. RJ.
Yes, guys. Remember as well to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our other socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon. We want to thank you if you're still here with us. Remember to engage with us. Keep engaging with us. We need feedback. If you like what we talk about, if you want us to talk about different stories, please let it be known. You know, we're for the people.
People.
And the people is the people of the world. Doesn't matter what race, creed, religion, whether you're affiliated with a union, who you voted for. This is an open
Or you bump
platform.
Kanye constantly. That's they're trying to
I mean, if we're talking about
albums, hey, depending on which albums.
If you prefer the latter ones more than the former ones, then maybe you should. Maybe this channel isn't for you. So I
Unreleased
guess,
albums, we don't know about that.
yeah. So, but if you're a college dropout fan, then of course,
man.
hey, keep supporting us. Thank you for sticking with us until the end, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.